If people join in, they'll be here. That would be great. That way I know I'm not talking to myself. You guys hear me okay? I can do loud and clear. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we're going to jump into it. We're going to be attending a friend's father's virtual funeral. So we're going to share tonight some of the new presentation, and that's what we're going to be going over. So just to get some ideas and some thoughts. Oh yeah, no worries, Patty. If your internet connection is bad and the video causes it for you not to hear, then yeah, that's totally cool. Just you can jump in the chat, send thumbs up, stuff like that. But awesome. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. How's everyone doing? Good. What's up, Jess? Okay.
My mom has her face covered.
Okay, so state of the industry, business models, many financial companies are geared towards affluent. We all know that. That's our mission, right? 99% of the families are underserved. So that's a big part of what we do. Just want you guys to get familiar with this, and we'll see. We'll talk about it. There's some things I like about it, and we'll go from there. America needs a different type of company in financial services. We believe that we are that company. So there's an increased need for financial education and help, but there's not enough financial professionals out there to meet the demand or to meet the need. Okay. So this is going to be the power of choice, just looking at different companies that we have. All right, welcome, Moses. Good evening to you. Nice to see you, my friend. So bringing the marketplace to your doorstep by representing our industry, not just one company, we're able to select quality products from a variety of companies and the different areas that we can help people in, right? Fixed index annuities, life insurance, long-term care, college plans, index plans, 401s, executive bonuses, and much more. And then we have AMS, Jackson, Pacific Life, Prudential, Athene, so on and so forth. Right. What are you questions so far on this page or this page? What are your guys' thoughts? You can open up your mics, you can talk. This is pretty much just open at this point. So cool.
So far, everything's straightforward and clear.
All right, awesome.
You're gonna hate me. Can you show me the first couple of pages we just got in because we had a tech issue? Sorry.
No worries. This was the first one, state of our industry. So just talking about, why we're here, how we're a different company, looking to help people, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's really windy where we are right now too, Patty, like violent windy.
Yeah,
Right.
really bad.
Then the different companies that we have on our platform, how we have the ability to have the power of choice and help people. The different areas that we help people in. Our passion is helping families, right? So financial needs analysis, the 6 things that we do for people. Everyone should be familiar with this, right? We help them increase cash flow. So can somebody give me an idea of how we could help somebody increase cash flow? Like what are a couple of the ways that we do it?
Our primary option is them coming on board as a business partner.
All right, that's a awesome way that we can help someone increase their cash flow. What other ways can we help them?
Budgeting and debt management.
Yeah, Patty put in the chat too. She's like doing the financial needs analysis, right?
Yeah.
Because we figured out like, oh man, I was spending too much money going out to eat or whatever. So those are ways we can help people increase their cash flow. Also through like debt consolidation too, right? We can help them through that. So if we can help somebody consolidate all their debt, maybe they're paying a lot high interest to a bunch of different cards, and now we consolidate that and maybe we can free up a few $100s or even more. Right? A lot of times it can be really significant for people, and that's a difference. The average family at the end of the month, think about this. They only have $400 to $500 left over after all of their expenses and bills and everything like that is paid and done. That's the average American family. So if we help somebody on a monthly basis earn $1,000 or $2,000 dollars, right? That's a big deal. An extra $1,000 a month can really do a lot for people. We can help people through understanding what they're spending their money on. Sometimes, we meet with a client, they're like, I don't have any money to save at all. I don't have anything. And we look at their subscriptions and they have like $200 to $300 worth of subscriptions on a monthly basis, right? They have Spotify, they have Netflix, they have Hulu, they have Disney Plus, they have HBO, they have like UFC Fight Pass, ESPN. I don't know, like all these different things, right? Different subscriptions, and they keep them. And there's an extra $150, $200, right? So just that awareness. Emergency fund, right? College planning, proper protection, building wealth and preserving wealth. I see that they didn't add debt onto this one, right? So debt's not on there, but that is a way, and that is something that we can help people with. All right, let's take a look at the next page. So bam, we're everybody remembers A1, B1, B2, C1, C2, C3, right? So what type of plan? Options for your money, right? So there's three ways that your money grows, and there's three ways that your money is taxed. So how your money grows is option A, B, or C. So there's the fixed, there's the variable, and there's the index. And then how your money gets taxed is option 1, 2, or 3. So you can combine any of these, just so you guys know. Like you can have a fixed product that's taxed now, right? And what would that be? Well, the savings account, certificate of deposit, mutual funds, stocks, bonds. You could have a A2. What would be like an A2 be? Like a fixed 401k. So let's say you had your money in a 401k, but you're only participating in the conservative side. That would be like an A2, right? You can have a B2. What's a B2? That's just like your traditional 401k, right? So that's just a way of showing people in a quick glance or snapshot. These are the only three. Like when you look at all the different ways that money grows, it only grows one of these three ways. It's either fixed, variable, or indexed. So you guys know, no matter what it is, if it's a cryptocurrency, how is a cryptocurrency growing? Variable, right? Up and down. If it's a stock, how's a stock growing? Somebody, I see people spelling it out. You guys are cool, like variable. Awesome. All right. If it's a mutual fund, how is a mutual fund growing? Right. Mutual funds variable. So a mutual fund would be a B. What a
B1.
mutual fund would be a B1, because it grows variable. And all of these products here are all the products that are out there. So this is the entire financial service industry. When somebody starts saying like, oh, it's really complicated, there's a lot of things. No, there's only three ways that money grows. And of those three ways that money grows, there's three ways that they get taxed. And these are the products that fall into each one. You just knowing this alone is a big deal, because most people don't know this. They have no idea, right? Maybe they've heard of fixed, variable. Maybe they know about index, maybe they don't. Maybe they know how money gets taxed now, later, or tax advantage. We studied that on our last meeting, like what that looks like when your money is getting taxed. That was a big deal, the impacts that it had on the growth, right? So if somebody wanted a C3, right, that would be like an index product, but you could have a C2. What would be an example of a C2? Who could give me, like, what would a C2 product be?
An annuity, and because I believe, and Jess, correct me if I'm wrong, there's index annuities, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's index annuities.
Right here.
Yeah. So that would be a good way of somebody doing what? So maybe they have their money in a B2, right? So they have their money in a B2. What's a B2? It's a variable account, but it's a 401k. Everybody's with me? and they want to move it. So they can't move the taxes because the taxes is already in this two, right? This two category, the tax later. But what they can do is they can change how the money grows. So let's say, for example, that I have $500,000 and I'm going to retire. I'm 65 years old and I have a B2 right now, which is a 401k. My money grows variable and it's being taxed later, right? So I know my money is going to be taxed later, but I could change my 401k to a A2. Maybe I want it fixed. Maybe I just want to have like a 2 or 3% growth and I don't want to lose money. Well, now I can make it an A2, right? Or maybe I want to have some good growth, but I don't want to lose money. I want maybe, somewhere between the 4 to 8% range without loss. Well, now I can have a C2. So now my growth is locked in. I don't ever lose money. I still have to pay taxes on it because it started as a 401k, but now I at least protect what I have and I don't have to lose it, right? So that would be like a C2, right? So that's pretty cool. And then you have your C3s, which would be tax advantaged, right? All the different tax type of advantaged products. What are those? Roths. So somebody tell me, what would a Roth be? What product is a Roth? A Roth would be a what? What letter is a Roth?
B.
B. So Roth would be a B. So it's variable. But how does the Roth get taxed?
3.
Damn.
A Roth can be an A, B, or C.
Correct.
Yep. So we can do a fixed Roth, we can do a variable Roth, or we can do an index Roth. Okay. So there's only 3 ways that money is, and some of these products, like you can't have an indexed 401k. They don't exist, right? So there, or maybe someone will create it. Right? Cash accumulation in a life insurance policy, municipal bonds, those are all different ways that we can mix and match. So anytime when we want to break down the entire financial industry, we're going to talk to somebody, we're just going to ask them, like, with what your goals for you and your family to meet those goals. I know protection is important to you. I know making sure that their money is going to be around, creating a legacy, like what we learned through selling through curiosity. Which way do you see, Moses, is best for your money to grow? A, B, or C? And then they're going to let us know. Okay. How would you like your money to be taxed? Right? Of these 3 different ways, how would you like your money to be taxed? And they're like, okay, I want a B2. Okay, perfect. A B2 would be your 401k, right? That's it. Or they want maybe a C3, right? They want to index products, but they want all the tax advantages as well. Right? So this is a way of us allowing the client to understand the differences and pick and go in the direction of what's important. Everyone with me? Okay, awesome. Let's go to the next page. Any questions about that page?
Patty and Israel would like us to explain more of what a municipal bond is.
Okay, cool. Great question. Thank you for looking out on the chat. Let's go back to the municipal bond. So a municipal bond is for cities, like when you can invest into the city. Like, let's say, for example, that the city needs to fix its roads or schools or whatever it may be. So you have you can invest into bonds from the city, and if the city does good and they manage well, if you have a good city and you trust your city local officials, governors, and things like that, and they're doing well, certain cities do good, certain cities don't. Right? So if you invested into this, you're like, oh no. So it's still not really that high of a risk, but if your city doesn't do well, you're not going to really have that growth on your money either. So it really just depends, but it all comes down to city stuff. And as for me right now, I'm kind of iffy when it comes to that, because a lot of our cities are in debt, and if we look at how they're being managed, and even at a higher level, our country's in debt. So I think that the problem needs to be fixed there, right? All right, let's move on. Let's take a look at a comparison. So this presentation is going to have a comparison over what a side-by-side comparison looks like. If you were to put your money into a 401k, so that would be retirement plan, which would be a B2, right? So on the left side is your 401k. So this is giving you an actual side-by-side of what the 401k has done over the last 20 years and what the IUL has done. So this is a B2 C3 comparison. You guys following me? Right. Okay. So let's take a look here. I love the side by side because now you're just showing somebody directly here. This is if they had their money in a 401k that participates in the S&P, right? Or they have their money in an IUL that participates in the S&P. In 2001, they have a minus 10%. But over here in 2001, they get 0.75, right? So $100,000 that first year, same 100,000 is 89,000. And then look at the balance there. They kept at 100,000. They didn't lose money. They earned a little bit, right? 2002, down 23%. So now that money becomes 68,500, right? And some change. But year number two, because of your product's index, look, you didn't lose money. You still got a 0.75. So now, while this person in the 401k is down to 68,000, now this person's at 101,000. So we always talk about the power of earning money without losing, right? We always talk about that, the power, but now you can just see the numbers side by side. You can see, well, what is that person's balance? So let's take a look here. So year 3, 2001. So somebody started at 86,000. So they got a 26% gain that brought them up to 86,600. In 2003, remember, there's a cap because for that safety, you also have a what? A cap. So your trade-off is you don't get the big returns over 15%, but when they took the 20 and 10% loss, you didn't have that either, right? So you didn't have that either. So now in year 3, you're at 116,000. While year 3, they're over here at 86,000, right? And we just keep going on and on and on and on until you start seeing all the losses and all of the money like side by side. Well, what does that end up looking like if somebody started their 401k 20 years ago? So when somebody's making the decision to plan for their family, if they're deciding between a B2, a C3, whatever they're deciding between, when you show them this here, you can see over the last 20 years, if you put your money into a 401 versus putting your money here, 20 years, it did 7% over that 20 years. That's what the market did, the S&P. These are historical numbers that you can pull from the S&P. The IUL also has its historical numbers. This is what it's actually done. These are not hypothetical. This is what happened, right? So in the 401k, you had a 7% growth, right, over that period of time, but you have like an average of 30% tax rate, right? That's pretty fair too. Like 30% is pretty fair. So your total after everything's said and done, you got $204,000. The same amount of money in a C3 index product, right? 8.53%. You didn't lose any money, no taxes. You don't have to pay any taxes. And they have $498,000. So that's pretty cool to be able to see that. What questions do you guys have? Pretty cool.
No question, but comment. I love that it's right after the growth and taxes because so many people don't understand the impact of taxes. They're like, oh, well, okay, but how much does that really matter? And then you see this is how much it matters. The exposure to the market cost them $200K. Their tax bill is, another 90,000. It's really kind of cool to be able to see this, like you were saying, in live time, in essence.
Yeah. So they lost money, right? So now we're showing them the difference between the impact of the growth on your money and taxes. And then now they're actually physically seeing that through, mathematically how that's impacting them, right? How did it impact their growth? Well, all the ups and downs are nowhere near the same amount. That's huge, right? And then the taxes also is another bill, like Shannon said, on top of everything. You got another bill. Cool. All right. So tax-free family C3. So let's take a look. Let's see what else is on here. So I skimmed through this the first time, so we're all experiencing this together. Comparison of a historical performance of the S&P and a private pension. Okay, so this is like what we're talking about with the B2, which would be like a pension plan. You could do a pension, so it could be a company retirement plan, so B2, right? And then also a private pension, so you can have it through an index plan, right? You can have a Roth index plan, you can have an index plan, and we're going to see the difference between that, right? So we're going to pay taxes because this is after tax dollars. This is wait a minute. Okay, so we're applying a tax rate to both, 25% tax rate. But this is just showing a side-by-side comparison of losing money and not losing money over a long period of time. So over the last 20 years, this is what the account has done here with the private pension plan is 8.12%. And this is with all the ups and downs, right? After taxes, this person has 438,000. After taxes with your own private pension plan, you have 604. And we can help people set that up. Every single one of you on this line can help people set up a private pension plan with your life license. You already have that life license. You can help people do that. You can help people switch their B2, which is their 401k. So we're going to just start referring to it as B2, like your 401k, right? You can help that switch that to a private pension plan. So they never run out of money and they never lose money. You can help them change how their money is growing. So they're not doing this here on the left side, they're doing this here on the right side. You can help them do that. Every one of you, that's awesome. So how many people are retiring? How many people need this? Many people that you know that are in schools, right? Think about school teachers. Jessica, Shannon, Felipe, a bunch of people have helped a lot of pastors retire that were there that are getting more money with the private pension where they had it through the conference, but because they moved it from the conference to a private pension, they're getting more money and their money's secure, right? So it's always good. And if if they have a better pension through whether it's the conference or whether it's a private employer or a corporation, whoever it is, doesn't matter. At least they'll know that they compared it to something else and that they're better off sticking with what they have.
And
right? But if you're going to
for
make a
both
decision,
spouses.
say that again, Jess.
The incomes for both spouses without the 50% reduction.
Right.
Okay, so that's another big deal,
And
right?
the beautiful the life guarantee riders for some who are really going to need that.
Yeah. So a lot of ways that we can help secure families. So start thinking about a lot of people are retiring, right? They're in retirement phase. Or maybe if they're even between 5 to 8 years from retirement, or even 5 to 10 years from retirement. Like I'm 55, I want to retire at 65. How can I guarantee that I can retire at 65? Well, through an index personal or private pension plan, I know exactly how I'm not going to lose money. And some of these companies have guarantees every single year, right? 8% guaranteed, like this 8.12, that's like a guarantee the company is giving every year. So rather than guessing what it's going to be, I know exactly how much I'm going to have. Look at this over here. 585 to 806. That's a huge difference. It's a big deal, right? So we can help families with that. 401k, we talk about it being a disaster. Well, here's the information. Let's show it to people. So here's the inventor of the 401k says he created a monster, right? In recent years, but like many critics in recent years, he began to think the 401k might not be the right thing. He created a monster that should be blown up. So why? The plans had grown so overcomplicated. They had so many different types of fees. There weren't the right type of plans. And we're seeing the result of people retiring from them now, right? You guys saw the last 20 years. And we're seeing the results of that. So we just got to make people aware. But I think visual is good. So we say it, but it's also there. You don't have to spend a lot of time. Tax-free family tree. So we're going to give them an example of somebody putting away $500 a month, right? So $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year. They start here at age 35 and they go all the way to age 69. How much did they save on their own? So then they started saving 700. So they started off at 500 and they started saving $700 a month. So the total that they saved on their own over 35 years, the total they saved on their own was $264,000. Everybody with me? That's how much they saved, $264,000. And now they start pulling out $54,000 a year tax-free. They pull out $54,000 a year. So they put in $264,000 over 35 years. And now they pull out $54,000 tax-free over a 20-year period of time. They pull out $1.1 million. All tax-free. They didn't lose any money. And if something happened to them along the way, they have that death benefit. And you guys know we could add living benefits and all those different options we can add, right? Living benefits.
That was on it.
And long-term care.
That was an immediate estate of 750,000.
Yep. And they had say that again, Jess?
That was an immediate estate of 750,000, correct?
Yeah, because they started out here at 750,000. So rather than saving money, like how long would it take somebody to save 750,000 in their 401k if something happens to them, right? From day one, they create an immediate tax-free estate. They have $753,000 that becomes available to them if they have long-term care needs, if there's, they pass away, God forbid, that money is now there to protect the family. So they created a tax-free estate, they protected themselves, and now they pull all that money out and use it during retirement. Pretty cool, right? So they just showing some actual things, and that's where the client stuff starts. And here, there's a dramatic need, simple system, great timing, powerful compensation, and strong core values. Half of all the existing, remember we said by 2022, we're going to need 200,000 people. It's 2022. So the shortage this year alone, a third of people in the financial service industry are going to retire. The industry right now needs 200,000 advisors this year. That's what the demand is. You know how like people are looking for jobs and doing all these different things? Well, we need 200,000 people. Pretty cool. Great timing. We know about this page, right? The baby boomer generation, where we're at now. This is what we were just talking about on the previous page. Oh, there we go. My screen's catching up. Okay, right. All of the baby boomers, right? Powerful compensation. So this is an example of $1,000 a month at a senior marketing director contract. So think about that. If we went out and helped one family save $1,000 a month, we just helped one family a month do that. That's almost a six-figure income doing that. We could do 4 families a month. Let's just say we helped 4 families. Like each family we helped save $250. That's 4 families. So that 1,000, 65% contracts, $7,800 a month, $93,000 a year. Income to the agent, right? Help somebody with a $250,000 rollover. So we talked about, a lot of people have $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 in their 401ks. They need to change that. They don't want the variable risk anymore. They want to secure that now. You help somebody with that 6%, 15,000 points. That's almost 10,000, 9,700. That's what times 12 months, 117,000, right? But it's a matter of getting out there and doing it. See, all these numbers look great, but it's a matter of, do we share the mission? All the numbers look good, but do we talk to people? That's where the whole thing comes. And I'm not talking to you guys like I'm included in that, right? Do I always open my mouth and share with people? I have to do it too. I have to let people know. Because if we have something good, we have to let them know. It's not our job to convince people. It's our job to share knowledge so they can have what if nobody talked to the lady from the IRS? What if nobody talked to her? What if nobody talked to the pastor that the Vilmans help? What if nobody talked to the pastor that Jessica helped? What if nobody talked to them? They would be receiving less money and the spouse will only get half. That's the mission. It's just informing them. And then they made the decision for their family, what was best, right? So let's take a look at this. You can be a licensed referral agent. You don't want to do any of this stuff. You get licensed, but you're here on meetings, you support the team, and you spread the mission. That's what you do as a licensed referral agent. You refer people because you've seen it yourself. You know that it's good. You know, I'd love for you to meet with some people. I've learned some excellent things from them. And you refer business, right? So as a referral agent, you're just referring and helping 4 families a month, just referring them. You're not doing the work. That's $1,900 a month or $23,000 extra a year. That's like a part-time and full-time job for people by just referring 4 people, right? Now, let's say you're a licensed agent, just an associate, and you help 4 people a month on your own, and you're helping them save $185 a month. You're helping 4 people a month save $185 as an associate. That's $3,900 a year. That's $47,000 a year. That's substantial. That's great, right? Senior marketing director with a team. So let's say, for example, we have a team of 5 people, and the 5 of you are just doing that first example, just helping 1 person a month. That's 22 or 271, 22,000 a month or 271. There isn't really a lot of other industries you can go work online, meet people virtually, help people, make a difference for them, invest minimally into your business and have these types of returns. But are we willing to spread the mission, right? Because we know the need. We went over the power behind what we do. Jess, can you please post this on GroupMe after, whenever the recording becomes available?
Absolutely.
Right, so people can come back and watch it, everyone that wasn't able to make it. And then executive marketing director, 27,000, right? So it just keeps going up from there. But let's just focus on like helping people make an extra $2,000 to $4,000 a month. Well, how many lives would we change if we help 2, 3, 4? So don't just think of like, yes, the power, and that's a double benefit, because some people want the business part and some people want the client, some people want both. But no matter what, you're still helping people and giving them value. You're still teaching them things that they didn't learn. You're still giving them their options. So there's different options with the firm. Some people are interested in the life illustration for you that can show you how to save for retirement and have income tax-free. So very direct, like to the point if they want that. Show you how you can roll over old retirement, right? Part-time income and full-time income. And that comes from our financial needs analysis. So getting their complementary financial needs analysis. And that is the end of the presentation. Let's open it up. Let's talk about it. And if you missed the first part, you can watch the recording.
Josh, I had a question.
Yes, sir.
It would be 3 slides back where you showed that, you know, if a person could help save $1,000 a month, that $1,000 doesn't have to come from one family, right? That's just if you're helping 3, 4 families, and you know, one family is saving 200, another 300, another one 500. That tallies up to 1,000.
Absolutely, it could be any combination of. I
So
could
right
help
there,
like, I could help 2 families. Let's say, for example, it says agent $1,000 a month. That's just the premium. So I could help 10 people save $100. I could help 2 people save 500. I could help 3 people save $333.33 or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Or it
Okay.
could be.
And that was the clarification I was looking for, because even for me, I sit there and go, if I have to find one person who's going to save $1,000, man, that can be daunting. But when I can think of it, that I can break it down in those chunks, like you said, 10 people who are saving $100 tallies out to $1,000, in premium a month.
Yeah, you know, and being in the right market too is a big deal. So, you know, there's a lot of times we sit down with nurses, business owners, and people like that. Z's working on a client right now that we're doing where she's looking at putting away a few $1,000s a month, and her discretionary income is over $5,000 a month after all her bills and everything's paid. She has another $5,000 a month that's just sitting there, and you know, so there's plenty of people out there. But the thing is this: we help everybody. It's not just about, you know, that it's literally, we need to help everybody. It's getting somebody started, right? Sometimes it's just that habit. sometimes people are not even in a situation where they can save, but man, if you can make some extra money, pay off some debt and put yourself in a better situation, now you're there. So awesome. What questions, what thoughts do you have? What comments would you like to share? You guys are so lively tonight.
So is this the new flip chart?
This is a new one that's being worked on for the hierarchy right now. It's still open to suggestion and feedback.
Okay.
And yeah, but it's just something that's being put together right now. It's not the final version. It's the start of
Work
it.
in progress.
Yes, it's a work in progress. You got it. How do you guys like it so far? Just at first glance, what is your impression of it?
I'm loving it. I'm
Who
learning
is
new
that? Was that
things.
Patty?
Patty, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'd
And I
say
think-
overall favorable.
Yeah.
Cool.
Um,
All right.
Simple, the simplicity.
Yeah, that's cool. But remember, it's not also the presentation, it's all the questions that we ask, right? We learned about that. But this really is nice because it helps put things in a visual format that people can see versus us trying to explain it or draw it or whatever it is, you can see it. So
I like that there was actually
certain
less
aspects.
wording on the pages. So it
Yeah.
makes you interact necessarily versus feeling the need to read small print.
Yeah, I love it.
So what
What's up,
happened
Gio?
to-
Hey, Gio.
What happened to the rule of 72?
Yeah, I know, right? What happened to the rule of 72? That's a good one. Was that your favorite one, Moses? Were you missing the rule of 72? Yeah.
Hey Josh, I really liked what I saw on the changes. I particularly like the side-by-side example that is in there between the 20-year historicals and the impact of what that looks like, starting at the same, ending at a different position. So pretty cool.
Oh, thanks for that, Gio. Yeah, I love that part of it too, because we try explaining it to people, but then it's like, oh, now I can see it. It's like, oh man, this is awesome. Yeah.
I kind of
Right.
have mixed feelings about the illustration being a part of this presentation because it goes from
Yeah.
being educational to now sales. So,
What we use in the close.
but at the same time, I do like it for those who are very technical and numbers oriented. It makes it come alive a little bit more.
Yeah.
But also the side by side, we can also tell the clients, look, this is someone who doesn't know about money, how they would retire and be taxed, but we also could show them how to retire with those same accounts, but tax-free and really become diversified in different ways. So it does, I like the numbers.
And that's a good point, Jess. I think it's also going to depend on our energy and when we're sharing it and how we're doing it. If we're there just like for like a sale, or if we're there like this is just to show somebody the education behind it or to intrigue them. I think that will also be. But yeah, I love the insight to that. Thank you for that.
Josh, do you know if the hierarchy is already working on a Spanish version for that?
No, I haven't finished the English one yet, so I'm sure that one will definitely be in the works. But I can find out. That would be good too. Yeah, it always is going to eventually end up needing to be translated. So. What other, anything else? Good. All right. Well, very cool. I think it's awesome for us. Like I said, training is going to be short, sweet, to the point. We don't need to spend a lot of time. You guys know that being in the field and helping people and just really sharing the message. It's never about like replacing somebody's stuff or this. It's just giving them education, giving them options, and just sharing with people. And if you do it, then the business is really fun. I think that we should have a lot of fun with what we're doing. It shouldn't be like this big pressure or sale or even thought about it that way. It should be like, you know what, I care enough about the people around me that I just want to share with them because somebody cared enough about me that they share this information, and we just start sharing it. And that's the best way to go about doing it. This is what I'm learning. These are the things that I'm doing. Sometimes we try to explain things to people, but when we say, hey, you know, I really want to share with you what I'm doing. I want you to take a look at it and see what you're doing. This is what we're doing, how we're educating people. What are your thoughts? And then share with them that information. Hey, who do you think, you know, needs to hear about this? Who could this benefit? You know, what are your thoughts on this information? You know, and then let people give it. I think it was great. I think it was, people will let you know from there. But that's the biggest part of everything is just doing that, just sharing. So we said we'll keep training short, keep training simple. The real stuff happens just in the field. We can do so much training, but the magic happens when we sit down and we share. Thank you guys for being here, for spending your time. We'll see you on next Monday's training. Remember, you'll also have Saturday trainings for Synergy if you guys would like to jump on those. But I love this time together with our team because we're able to come together and do this. And we're gonna Ken mentioned something about marketing in that. So I've been talking to Kat a little bit about it, and we'll come up with some ideas. And I hope that you guys have been thinking about some ideas around marketing and branding and getting our name out there and more ways that we can figure out how to share the message with people. That's why I look at the marketing and branding. How can we reach more people? How can we help more people? So wrap our heads around that, and we'll do the same, and we'll come up with something when it comes to that. I know this business has always been built grassroots movement from that passion of the heart of, I just need to help you. I want to share with you. Somebody showed me, let me help educate you. And then through people being impressed, they tell other people, and we get word of mouth through there by sharing some of these things. And maybe you're not even sharing all of those, but what if you just shared a few of those pages of with somebody? Like, hey, has anyone ever showed you the 3 ways that money grows and the 3 ways that the money are taxed? What about just that page alone? I love to have a follow-up conversation with you and talk to you more about what we do. But what about just like something really, really, really simple, or even like Moses was talking about, like maybe you're somewhere and you just shared the rule of 72 with somebody. They didn't know about that. Like how many of you knew about the rule of 72 before you came here? I didn't even know about it. I worked at the bank and I didn't know about it. That's shameful, right? Like it shouldn't be allowed. Like, how can you be working and not know about? So let's have that heart. Let's continue with that mission and that passion, and let's do things in a way that serves people and helps people and gives WFG a great name. I met with an awesome young kid from Canada. He moved to he does a lot of he works for Twitter and does Twitter content, and he's just so awesome, right? He's looking for opportunity, like all these great things. So you start thinking about the ability that we have to impact and help people, and how we can do that. So let's do it. Love you guys. Have an incredible evening. Blessings to you. Health, wealth, prosperity, abundance, and faith. Lots of faith. Have an incredible night.